Hey there, friends. So greetings from Louisiana, the Pontilly area here in New Orleans, close to Lake Pontchartrain. Well, I want to give you an update because people have been asking about how the ministry went today at the University of New Orleans. So I'm trying to condense this. Didn't want to type a bunch out, but started off pretty mellow. Got there on campus and immediately students started talking to me and, excuse me, mostly friendly conversations. Had somebody say, "Oh, get a job." And a couple other hecklers came up while I was talking to other students, but mostly went pretty well for about maybe 15 minutes. You might have seen some of the live video. And they have body cam footage to cover most of the stuff that went on later on. But sadly, security people came up and gave me a hard time. One of the administrators said that, well, I have to fill out some paperwork to be on campus in order to talk to the students. And so asked him, is this a public campus? He said, yes, but you need to follow the regulations and to talk to students and be here with the banner. They mainly had a, excuse me, a big problem with my banner, which many people do. So that's the one there. I'll show you this. If you haven't seen it, it's this one here. Let's see if you can see that's got the bad news there. Oh, not very good. This is the side that really people don't like at all. So you see that? Kind of just people don't like it. And here's a little better shot of the side that is not so offensive because it's the gospel, right? So all that to say that so one of the first security guards was fairly nice, but he said that I'd need to leave the campus until I got the paperwork finished, and so I said, oh, okay, well, I'm trying to be compliant, not be a jerk, and I asked him, so what would happen if I didn't comply, if I just said, well, I'm going to stay here? He said, well, I don't know, never had that happen before. And I go, okay. And so I just said, hey, I'll go get paperwork filled out, kind of roll with it and try and be easy with it. This is the big easy, And so then a student came up to me. He had asked me before, you'll see him in the video, he came up and asked how long I was going to be here. And I told him, probably 2 or 3 hours, see what happens. And so he said, I'll be back. And I go, that sounded positive. So he came back and it was positive. He said, well, I'm going to get John the paperwork and we'll get him all set up. So I actually went over to his house. Jordan is his name. Sweet young Christian man, student there. And so I got his testimony. I shared my testimony with him, and we got the paperwork. Supposedly got the right paperwork, but he ended up giving me a form. It's an ADA form, the American with Disabilities Act, I think is what it is. So had nothing to do with what I needed. Anyway, so I went back on campus and I thought, well, I'm trying to get the right paperwork. Well, I went to the student union and I said, I'm trying to get the paperwork. And so I went to the desk and the lady acted really confused. And finally she says, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you need to go to the upper floor and here's where you go to get that. Oh, great. And then at about that time, she says, oh, some people are looking for you. And I go, okay. And so I looked out the window and there's security guards. And I guess they've been looking for me because I was walking across campus and I got people reported me and they said, well, the security said, yeah, well, we need to have you come outside. And so they talked to me and he said, well, we had some people that were concerned about you being on campus. So I'm like, was it a public campus? He said, yeah, well, it's a public campus, but it's private because we have regulations and you can't just be here if you're not a student. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make any sense at all. And so we went round and round a little bit about it. And they said, well, you can't have that banner here because it's got the poles, and those poles could be dangerous and they could be weapons. And I said, well, I've been having conversations with the students and they've been very friendly. And I just came here to do some interviews, talk to people about their faith, whether they're Christians or non-Christians, ask them what they think about the banner, kind of get their thoughts on that, and share the gospel of Jesus Christ with them. And they said, well, you can't be here with the banner, with those poles and everything. I said, well, if I took the poles off and just had the banner, would that be okay? And they said, well, it's offensive. The language on there is offensive, so we can't have that. So I'm going, oh, this is really getting into the 1A First Amendment rights violations. So, but I didn't go there. I just said, well, so if I took the banner home, I rode the bus here, and if I took the banner home and then it came back just myself, would that be okay? And he said, well, no, you can't be here unless you get permission from the college. So I'm getting like, you're really confusing me. Don't make me go Columbo on you. And so I said, at that point, I turned on my body cam again. I had shut it off, turned it back on. I said, yeah, I've got the body cam on and that's for recording. He said, yeah, we were wondering about that because it looked like tactical equipment. And they were asking me if I had any weapons on me. I said, no, you can look in my backpack if you want. I don't have any weapons. I have some snacks, but don't take my snacks, okay? And he says, I'm totally going to take your snacks. And we're joking around, like trying to keep it light a little bit, but it was getting heavier. And so I let him look through my stuff. I said, yeah, I don't have anything here, just body cams. So I turned on my body cam, the one on my chest, and said, I'm trying to get them to admit that they're going to trespass me. And he says, yeah, we would trespass you if you stay here with your banner. And I said, well, if I asked him like 3 times, 3 different ways. You'll see it on the cam footage later on. But I said, if I take my banner home and just leave it and I come back and just talk to the students, would you trespass me then? And I asked him like 2 more times. He said, well, no, you can't be on campus unless you have a permit. You have to get permission. We can't let you back on campus without that. I said, so you would trespass me if I just came back by myself and just talked to the students. And again, he would not say trespass. I think he was on to me. I was trying to trap him. I was totally trying to trap him. I wanted him to say, we are going to trespass you from a public campus. Oh my. Anyway, so I was kind of in a quandary with what to do. I've been asking people to pray, talk to Brother Nicholas, he's really sick right now, and otherwise he would have joined me at UNO. Had planned to, and actually was planning on coming to the Super Bowl outreach, but he didn't. Anyway, so I talked to him tonight about that, and so anyway, I figured I'd try and keep y'all up date because you've been asking and praying, and I appreciate that. So it's just kind of heartbreaking because the students were like just glomming on me. They wanted to talk to me, and it was great. I just loved it. I didn't have like the raging lesbians that I usually have, and trans people or drag queens or weirdo people that like the norm in Oregon at the universities there. I didn't have that. It was just kind of like a Southern hospitality type of thing for the most part, a couple of hecklers, but nothing real serious. So it was just all easy going and all. And it's really a bummer because I want to go back. So here's my prayer and my to go forward tomorrow, because I got to fly out tomorrow night, Tuesday. Got to fly out in the evening. So I'm going to talk to the police in the morning and tell them what happened and see if they can do anything about it. And so I'm probably not going to just go back there unless I can get an okay from the police and get them to clear it. And if not, I may try another university. I think there's Tulane is another one that I might be able to go to and kind of start all over and see if I can maybe approach it from a different direction or something. But yeah, it was just a bummer. I didn't get to see Lake Pontchartrain. I've been wanting to see that. So anyway, thanks for the prayer, and I hope you all have a good night. I'm going to be sleeping on this and praying about what to do, but I'm going to go get some grits. And for you Southerners, I hope this isn't what was the word, sacrilegious. Sackgritlicious, I think is the word. I just made it up because I'm going to put jam in my grits. So, neener, y'all. All right, good night and God bless you.